We are learning chilling new details about communication failures surrounding the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump.
Listen to me. I'm going to keep on saying it. This was not a miscommunication. It was not a failure. It was deliberate. How are y'all good people doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. Make sure y'all do me a favor and follow me on the platform you see above and below. And I really do appreciate you taking time out your day to do all those things. I appreciate you taking time out of your day or your evening to view my content. If you like this type of content, make sure you click that thumbs up button. You should do it anyway, just to kind of help the channel out. Really appreciate it if you would do that. Last but not least, if you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you check to see that you still are, because YouTube will unsubscribe you. You're just going to mysteriously be unsubscribed from my channel. Trust me. If you are being unsubscribed, put it in my channel so YouTube can see it, because they claim that they're monitoring it. Yeah. Anyway, folks, y'all, I told you I'm going to keep y'all updated. And the reason why is because I'm surprised that most mainstream media is not even covering this right now. They're not even it's like, let's talk about everything else. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. Let's talk about Joe Biden. No, they're not talking about Joe Biden. Like today, stock market is crashing. Things are crashing under Biden and Kamala's economy, which seems to be doing so great. And watch, I guarantee you they try to blame it on Trump. Anyway, my point is, why aren't they still talking about the investigation that should be about President Trump almost near assassination? Why aren't they talking about that? They want to keep all these things hidden from you. It should be like on every news network. Because let this have been Biden. Oh, who would want to hurt such a gentle soul? Who would want to? You know what I'm saying? What? Why? Now, I'm going to let you guys watch this video, and I'm going to go in on it because I'm not just falling for the bull crap. Sorry. So anyway, without further ado.
Encrypted radio communications reportedly revealing a local counter sniper actually warned they'd, quote, lost the gunman after they had sighted him with that rangefinder. Matt Finn is live at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally site with the latest on the investigation. Matt?
Emily, the acting director of the Secret Service now confirms that former President Trump's counter sniper team did not have direct radio communication with local police here in Butler on the day of the shooting. And a new Washington Post report reveals just how poor communication was between federal and local agencies. According to encrypted radio transcripts, on July 13th at 5:42 p.m., a local counter sniper here in PA said, just an FYI, we had a younger white male, long hair, lurking around the AGR building. He was viewed with a rangefinder sighting the stage. We lost sight of him. That message was apparently referencing the shooter, Thomas Crooks, who ultimately pulled off the near assassination of former President Trump while killing one man and injuring others. Now, there has been outcry over why no Secret Service workers have been publicly fired or suspended just yet. Here on the ground, I spoke with Republican Congressman Mike Kelly. This is his district in Western Pennsylvania, and he's on the special task force that is investigating the July 13th shooting.
American people have the right to know, and we have a tremendous responsibility to find out for them. I don't want to talk about innuendo where somebody said something to me or I got a secret note from somebody. We're going to do the deep dive that's necessary with the people that were actually on the ground, what they went through, and then how did you prepare for this?
And Congressman Kelly is urging everyone to take a breath because he promises that task force will come to this site, and he promises the country that everyone who needs to be held accountable will be. Emily.
Matt, thank you. Kaylee, we've been talking about this the whole time. The colossal communication failures keep piling up, and all it does is underscore the colossal leadership failure of the Secret Service.
No doubt. Emily, that Washington Post report was stunning. We had been saying we need the transcripts of the radio communications. Well, the Washington Post got them. So at 5:42 p.m., local law enforcement communicated there was a guy with a rangefinder. Fine, you use a rangefinder in golf. Fine, you use it in shooting. You don't use it at a Trump rally. The shooting took place at 6:11 p.m. So 30 minutes passed where there's this information about the rangefinder. Then we find out in this Washington Post report, the information was communicated into a command post that only contained local law enforcement. So what happened to what I've been told by Trump officials was the model for every single presidential event. You have a security center with the head of every law enforcement group in the same room. Did that not happen here? And then finally, we're told man with a gun, 30 seconds goes by, the message not communicated. Why? Because they didn't have enough time to call in on a cell phone. Why aren't you using radios? So many questions. Failure, to your point. Failure all the way around.
And you know, Harris, who didn't lose sight of him were all of those rally goers who had their cell phones trained on him and trying to get the attention of those in charge.
Yeah, we're supposed to see something, say something, but apparently when we say something, we don't get listened to. Yeah, that's not a good message. There's really only one question I have today for the leadership at the USSS. How many of the people that you're looking at who fell down on that day and where the failures actually happened are still on the job today, and what are they doing? Who are they protecting? I want to know where we have moved to with the people who are being most scrutinized. And do we have enough redundancy in our ranks to replace them while you finish your investigation? No, we don't, because you know what Kimberly Cheadle told us? They're 1,500 employees short under her watch. She knew she had positions to fill, so they were stretched. They were stretched. So even if they wanted to take some of these people out of the field, we don't have potentially the redundancy that we would need to keep people safe. And this isn't just about our candidates as president. These are about any of our elected leaders. We know that the enemy wants to cause chaos, and so they are targeting us. And we have enough enemies around the globe now. We don't need a piece of paper that says, well, today is Trump and Iran's day. It's everybody all day long.
That's right.
So get ready.
That's right. And Guy, focusing on this particular point, which I feel is so disturbing, and it's the erosion of the relationship between the Secret Service via leadership and local law enforcement, because President Biden doesn't leave the White House without the support and the dependence on local law enforcement who bravely and steadfastly support the Secret Service all throughout the country, every day, all day, with all the protectees. And here we have leadership that's just been throwing them under the bus and trying to blame them for their failures.
Yeah, I think the locals felt scapegoated unfairly in the very early days when the now erstwhile leader was trying to sort of cast blame everywhere but on herself and her own agency. And it's sort of amazing because every time some new development comes out involving this incident and the near murder of Donald Trump on national television, I keep waiting to have a sense of, oh, okay, now I sort of understand why that happened. And yet each new piece of information makes it more unbelievable, less understandable. It's shocking how many different levels of failure there were here. It's like he hid the gun in advance. He did the flyover with a drone in advance. They spotted him, an hour in advance. They lost sight of him and radioed in. And somehow Donald Trump was allowed on the stage. At every step, this should have been stopped, and it wasn't.
Near murder of Donald Trump and the actual murder of Corey Compertori, Carly. And the other thing is, to everyone's points here, we need these answers right now, because right now there are many protectees under the protection of the Secret Service who thus far we've seen no leadership whatsoever made any change other than Cheadle.
It's so true. I feel like we have learned so much and nothing at all when it comes to what happened on July 13th. And when it comes to the communication issues between local police and Secret Service, you can't have everybody on the same radio channel, I am told, because that would be chaotic. But what you could do was have a local guy embedded with the Secret Service. So when they get the call, hey, we're seeing something suspicious, you could then communicate that much more effectively person to person with the Secret Service agent who could then go check it out or alert the immediate detail around former President Trump or anybody that the Secret Service is protecting. So that's one thing. The other thing is we don't know anything about the shooter or a motive yet. And one of the reasons for that is because the social media is still encrypted. So I completely agree with Senator Lindsey Graham, who brought this up in the hearing last week when he said there is an answer that's sitting somewhere out there. And because these apps are still encrypted, for a murderer, an assassin, he says, privacy to a point, but, I mean, that is ridiculous.
And our enemies are watching all of this.
Yes, they are.
They're like the Borg. They're learning.
Speaker McCarthy told us on Friday that when he and his excellent team land somewhere, his Secret Service hands their a radio to the local law enforcement, so it ensures seamless communication.
Yeah, so you saw all that, you heard all that, and I'm just saying bullcrap. There was, to me, in my opinion, there was no miscommunication. There was no communication failure. There was no, we didn't know what to do. There was no scrambling or anything like that. This was deliberate. They knew exactly. Come on now, it's not like this is their first rodeo. Let's keep it real. It's not their first rodeo. See, when you come from the streets like I did, There are things, unfortunately, that happen in the hood that you are taught at when you grow up, right? If you are telling us about a particular person that you are considered to be an enemy, I'm just going to keep it real, the police. If the police is the enemy and people feel like the police have wronged them, this stuff gets passed down generationally, right? So let me give you an example. Police come to our neighborhood. Something went down that was completely horrific. They come ask us the question. No, sir. Didn't see anything. No. But you were 10 feet from where this happened at. You didn't see anything? Nope, I didn't see anything. Now, y'all, let me just tell y'all something. This was before the whole snitches get stitches thing. I'm not even referring to that in case y'all are wondering if I'm talking about that. No, it was just instilled in us that because of how terrible the police were perceived and told to us how terrible they were, don't help them with anything. Let them figure it out. Don't help them with anything. Now, the police come and make an investigation on a crime, and you got all these people around in the hood saying like, nope, don't know what you're talking about. We didn't see anything. I don't even know. I was in the kitchen cooking. I was out there. Man, we was over there playing. We just heard the gunshots go off, and we looked up, and dude was on the ground. Y'all didn't see nothing, no tires screeching? Nope. Now, what if the police ultimate report was, we can't solve this crime because all the people that were there that were potential witnesses, they are saying they didn't see anything. They didn't hear anything. They weren't told anything. Somebody said they did hear some gunshots going off. Somebody said, well, it did look like it was somebody that was from the neighborhood that we've never seen before. Somebody said it did look like a suspicious car. Somebody said, well, we just thought we just never seen. Now, if the cop asking all these people questions, everybody keep on saying, we don't know. Did you see anything? I didn't see. I was standing next to her when she heard it. Well, I was across the street from him when he saw, and none of y'all, nope. Knowing deliberately that within us, the ones that stayed in the hood on the block, we all knew that we just weren't going to talk about it because what was taught to us. So my point is, can you imagine if they said, well, there was a breakdown in miscommunication amongst the residents of the neighborhood, so we really can't figure this thing out? No, we purposely didn't want to tell the police. We deliberately didn't tell the police. So would you say that was a communication failure? No, it was deliberately done. Nobody wanted to talk to them. So what am I saying? The same exact thing is what I'm getting from it. Now, you can say what you want to. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Secret Service, them have way more education. Blah, 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 blah. You can say all that you want to. I like to bring things down on the common sense term. Because if I have an agency that's supposed to be of the highest of the highest of the highest where they have a no fail, and not only is this considered to be a fail, but an astronomical, diabolical failure. And if that is the case, that to me is not considered a failure. That means it was deliberate, plain and simple. If I said, look, I have a 100%, approval rating. I've never failed. And when I do fail, the most minute, the basics of secret security 101, for one, how to holster your gun, what to do if there were, when the basic things like that gets missed to where us normal citizens can just call the stuff out when we seen it live. That's not a failure in my book. That is not a mistake in my book. That was deliberately done. That was, you know what? I'm gonna walk away from this and see how it goes down. What do y'all think? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to do what y'all see going on right there. If you would, please, I really would appreciate it. I would like to know you guys' opinion on it. Even if you disagree, let's hear it, all right? I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.